Hello, beautiful people. My name is Fumilayo Azora Ekeze. I want to welcome you on this beautiful day to my space. I'm so delighted to have you on board with me as I share my thoughts, my views, and some facts on certain issues that relate to the children. So, for today's episode, I'll be talking or sharing with you a particular topic that I know you'll be so much interested as a parent and also as a teacher, because I have a word for you teachers out there. And guess what the topic is all about? Can you guess? Okay, I won't mention the topic, but let me share this story with you. That will probably help you. So I went to visit this cousin of mine a few weeks back, and as I stepped into the living room, what I saw blew my mind. I saw little Dennis, who happens to be a grade 3 pupil, on the floor, almost bent over. I saw books sprawled all over on the rug, and by the corner the television was on, and guess what was ongoing? Of course, cartoon. And I saw just a little meters away from Dennis a plate of unfinished Indomie. I was wondering what exactly was going on. A lot of things were actually wrong with that scenario. I'm sure you'll be able to identify certain things as I was narrating the story with you. Let's look at the things that were actually wrong with that scenario. Now, the condition of Dennis, the way he was sitting down, the number of books that surrounded him, and he happens to be carrying out his homework. And while doing that, the TV set was on. As if that was not enough, then we have probably his lunch unfinished by his side. So what am I talking about today? I'm talking about homework palaver. Is homework really necessary? What amount of homework is a child expected to come home with? So let's begin with my first question. Is homework really necessary? Yes, to a point, homework is necessary, because the objective of giving a child homework is to help that child to practice what has been taught in the classroom. And by the time the child practices, it helps the child to have an in-depth knowledge of what happened in the classroom. But now, my problem now is the amount of homework a child should bring home. And the funniest thing that our parents are also guilty of this homework palaver. A parent who wants to enroll his child in a school, they will be concerned with, I hope you give children homework, because I don't want the children to disturb me. So for some parents, homework is a way to keep the child busy. And why some parents will complain, I don't want too much homework for my child. Now, in this issue of homework, both the parents and teachers have a role to play. The teacher and the parents must form a partnership. Now, let's go back to the things that we identified as being wrong in Dennis' situation. When a child is given homework, the child should not be given more than what is necessary. Take, for example, you studied maths in class that day on probably algebra. Then you should give the child like not more than 3 or 4 problems to solve. Why give the child 10 problems to solve? Probably the child gets home at about 3 p.m. and if the child is going with the school bus, the child might get home like 5 p.m. What time does the child need to rest? You find that out of fear, most children want to deal with their homework even before they take off their uniform. And with the parents brandishing the cane before the child, you must complete this task before you eat your food, or you must complete this homework before you watch your favorite program. So I believe the amount of homework a child is given should be regulated. So school owners, school administrators, teachers, take note of this. That a child offers 8 subjects in a day does not necessarily mean that the child must go home with homework on every subject. And now, personally, I want to share my personal thought with you on this. I think every child should have specific homework. There should be time for general homework, and there should be time also for individual homework. If a child is doing well in algebra, must you continue to give the child homework on algebra? Why don't you, as a teacher, identify the child's weak area of weaknesses and then give the child homework based on that? That's for the teachers out there. Now let's go back to the other problems we identified. The workspace. Now this has to do with you as a parent. As a parent, please, I want to appeal to you. Can you provide a safe workspace for your child when the child has to do his homework or her homework or even study at all? I don't see anything beneficial in a child doing his homework at the same time the TV is on, as well as adults holding conversations in that same space. So very important is a good workspace for the child. No matter the size of your home, you can create a space for the child, and also time. You look out for a very convenient time when you don't have to watch TV or you're not having visitors for your child to carry out the homework. So we've identified the timing and the workspace, and also talked about what? The workload. My dear parent, if you're not comfortable with the amount of homework, that is the workload your child is bringing home, then it's time to speak with the teacher. Schooling is partnership between the parents or guardians of the child or the learner and the school management. It's a partnership. The school does not have all the powers, neither does the parent. So it's what you coming in as a parent and the teacher coming together to meet at a particular point. The school has what it offers. You as a parent know what you need for your child. So please don't hesitate if you have issues with the amount of homework your child is bringing home. Either you put a call through to the teacher or visit the school and express yourself. It will really go a long way to help your child. Remember, it's all about a healthy development for your child. Now we've mentioned the workspace, we've talked about the workload. Now I also want to talk about parents' attitude towards homework. So we have 2 types of parents. Parent type A, the one that is nonchalant when it comes to the child's homework. You are not involved. You don't care. You don't want to know. You're totally absent. And then we have the type B parent, the one who is overzealous. Because you know your child will be graded based on the homework, you want to do the homework by yourself. I don't think that is the best way to go about it. Your child's homework is strictly for your child to do. Remember, I mentioned earlier on that it helps to enhance the learning that takes place in the class. It helps to give your child an in-depth knowledge, for your child to reinforce what has taken place in the classroom. So the child brings back the work to the house to do it in a convenient and conducive atmosphere. So why do you have to do the homework yourself for the child? You don't have to. All you have to do is interact with the child, or explain the concept to the child where you feel the child may have forgotten one or two things by following the given examples, and then allow the child do the homework. But if you watch and see your child is running into difficulty, then you can intervene. Not doing everything. You can go through what the child is doing and make necessary correction. Am I communicating? All right. So when you get involved by working with the child, not walking for the child. It goes a long way to help your child. And some children don't even like their parents doing their homework for them, because by the time they get back to school the next day, the teacher will find out if the child did the work by himself or was assisted. So please, let's desist from doing the homework for the child, but rather let us help them go through it. Help them to understand, correct wherever you need to correct. That will just be what is needed. And now for my dear teachers. I've mentioned earlier about considering the amount of homework you give to a child, and also ensure that the homework you're giving the child is appropriate. I wonder why you will send a 2-year-old child to go and Google when the child is even yet to know how to handle a mouse. You're indirectly asking the parents to do their homework. I know we live in a very competitive world now, where every parent wants to brag about the academic excellence of their children. But all the same, let us learn to do the right thing at the right time. You know what? When we overburden these children with homework, they tend to resent schoolwork. Sometimes you find a child who just wake up one morning, I don't want to go to school. I'm not saying the reason why they don't want to go to school is just because of homework. There are many reasons that could be traced to why a child wouldn't want to go to school. But sometimes it's because of what? The school work. And also, it can make the child to feign sickness at every time. When it's time to carry out his or her homework, oh, I'm having a headache. I don't want to work right now. I want to have some sleep. Yes, some sleep. And do you know that too much homework denies the child of the needed rest? You find some children still doing homework late at night. And you know it's a circle. When they end up going late to bed, they end up waking up late or not wanting to wake up at all, no matter how long you stand and yell by the door. So these are the effects of when a child is given too much homework to handle. And it also affects their academic performances. We know that homework may not be too important for children in kindergarten, in elementary school, but there is no harm in them giving homework, because they said practice makes perfect. All we need to do is to do everything in moderation. At this point, I won't be asking too much if I ask you to please share this video with your friends and family. And I'm sure you must have clicked on the like button. Oh, thank God I reminded you. Please click on the like button. It gives me so much joy knowing that I'm adding value to your life. Remember, it's all about partnering with the community, partnering with you as a parent, partnering with you as a teacher to raise positive and healthy children that will grow into successful individuals and make the society a more beautiful place that it can be. I remain your regular hostess, Fumilayo Azore Ekize. Looking forward to having you on my space once again. Do have a pleasant and rewarding day and be inspired.